Hey guys, Jenny PRD, registered dietitian and nutrition expert. Thanks so much for checking in. This video is another meal video where I'm going to give you 5 delicious meals for you and your family this week. And first we're going to start with some balsamic glazed chicken with mashed potatoes and asparagus. So something that I just recently found at the grocery store was this balsamic glaze. What I usually do when I make a balsamic glaze is I just take balsamic vinegar and I heat it on low in a pan so all that vinegar evaporates out and it kind of makes this thicker glaze. The only difference, no added sugar, added sugar. So that's your choice, but I think either one is going to be delicious, and depending on how much you use, this can be a healthy choice despite the added sugar. So what I'm going to have on the side with this delicious boneless, skinless chicken and this balsamic glaze are mashed potatoes. So what we do for mashed potatoes, a lot of times I buy these delicious red potatoes. I don't peel them, keep the fiber on there and the iron. Cut them into about 1/6, like 1-inch pieces, and throw them in a pot of cold water. Boil them for about 15 to 20 minutes. Stick a fork in there to check to make sure that they are soft. Drain the water and then go ahead and add your delicious butter and other things like that. So because I use a little bit of butter, I then add skim milk to just reduce the cholesterol and saturated fat and to make it delicious and creamy. I always add non-fat Greek yogurt. So Greek yogurt adds that delicious tang, that delicious creaminess, and season it. So I always add garlic powder, pepper, and chives. I don't know if you have seen these, but they are freeze-dried chives. You can find them a lot of times in your produce department, and they are a great addition for that chive flavor. Sometimes when I buy those fresh herbs in the grocery store, I don't tend to use them all, so this is a great way to get that same taste or very similar taste. And who doesn't like chives with their mashed potatoes? So with that, we're gonna have asparagus. Really simple to make. Rinse it, split it where it easily breaks, throw it in a pan with some olive oil and some minced garlic, maybe a hit of lemon juice, and saute it for 8 to 12 minutes until it's done. And there you go. So that is a quick, easy meal for you, delicious and nutritious. Another meal is rainbow pasta. So what makes it rainbow? Not the noodles, what you put in it. So we're going to roast some delicious red tomatoes, some orange pepper, or you can cut up some carrots if you'd like, a yellow squash. We're gonna add some mushrooms because mushrooms and pasta are just heavenly. Some green zucchini, or you can use spinach or even broccoli for green. And then a purple or red onion. So throw those in the oven at 375 for about 15-20 minutes. Drizzle them with olive oil, season them up to your liking, and just, every few minutes, shake them around in the pan, move them with a spatula so they don't, burn on one side, and throw it with some whole wheat pasta. So I have a bunch of pasta videos. I'll put those links in the description box below. But whole wheat pasta is king in my world. There's so many different kinds and they all have different advantages. If you are, gluten intolerant or celiac, you wouldn't want to have whole wheat. But for, people who do not have that, whole grain or whole wheat pasta is going to be a better choice than just plain white pasta. Has more fiber and more protein, and it's a good source of iron as well. So it's a whole grain. The more whole grains you eat, the better, just for overall health. So adding those roasted vegetables to this pasta. And then I'm gonna make some turkey meatballs. So I usually buy a 93 to 7% ratio. You could buy the 99% fat-free. If you want, no problem. Just make sure you have some fat in your dish whenever you do buy those lower fat meats. Again, the fat that you're cutting out is saturated fat, which is great for you to reduce because it's not so heart healthy. So some turkey meatballs on the side, really easy. Throw some Parmesan cheese in there. Sometimes I use breadcrumbs, oftentimes not too much. Garlic powder, pepper, some parsley, and then with those veggies and that pasta, so delicious. And then for a sauce, I'm going to use 3 simple ingredients. Olive oil, this marvelous minced garlic that I've already talked about. Again, this you can find a lot of times in the produce section of your grocery store and sometimes in with the seasonings as well. And then lemon juice. So lemon juice, the minced garlic I always have on hand, and of course olive oil. So those 3 simple things, adding olive oil to a pan and then a little bit of garlic and the lemon juice will give it just this nice refreshing taste. Dump that over your pasta with those roasted vegetables and those turkey meatballs, and that is going to be marvelous. Another dish is chicken soup. Crock pot season for me now that it is winter, and my whole family is on board with having soup every week, which makes it super easy dinner night for me because you do all the prep in the morning and then it cooks all day, and then when it's dinner time, it is already done. So we are having chicken soup this week. Really easy. I cut up some onion and baby carrots because I always have those on hand, and celery. Throw that in the crock pot, and then boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I use the thighs just so they don't dry out as much, being that it's cooking for a lot of hours in the crock pot. And then I add low sodium chicken broth and unsalted chicken stock. This stock in general, it just has so much flavor. It's incredible. And so I pour this over, the carrots with the chicken and the celery and onion. Cook it for 6 hours on high. You can cook it on 8 hours for low. And then towards the end, I throw in a cup of brown rice. Brown rice is a whole grain. And again, the more whole grains we eat, the better for our overall health. So I add a cup of this, and then I'll add a cup of frozen peas, a cup of frozen green beans, and you have a ridiculously vegetable-packed soup, but it's a whole meal, complete meal. We have the chicken in there for protein, the brown rice for the complex carbohydrates. All those veggies are free, and the more the better. And then I always add olive oil while my soup is cooking, just to have some fat in there to help absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K. Another meal that we're going to do is stir fry. So stir fry, depending on your time, buying a rotisserie chicken from the store is a nice tip, or boneless, skinless chicken breast and just sauteing it on the stove. And frozen vegetables, so in the frozen aisle, you can buy whatever stir-fry blend is appealing to you. The one that I bought is carrots, cauliflower, broccoli, red peppers, and corn. And so I cooked it in the microwave according to the package directions. And then to make it kind of a semi-homemade, like Sandra Lee would say, although hers were significantly more elaborate than this, I throw it in a pan with some teriyaki and some of that minced garlic and some butter. So the teriyaki, I just buy regular sodiumed amount teriyaki. I don't tend to buy reduced sodium in teriyaki like I do the chicken broth, because I feel like it doesn't give you that flavor that you're wanting, and you tend to use more, which then defeats the purpose of buying lower sodium or reduced sodium. So I just stick with the regular sodium amount, but monitor how much I'm adding to the pan. So cooking up some butter with that teriyaki and that garlic, and then throwing the cooked frozen vegetables in that to really just give it a nice flavor. Brown rice on the side, minute rice, cooks in 10 minutes. And if you have that rotisserie chicken, this is like a 15-minute meal. Unbelievable. And semi-homemade, right? Another meal that we're going to do is pizza. Friday in our house is pizza and movie night. So I tend to buy the pre-made dough balls at the grocery store. You can find them often at your deli section, or at my grocery store, we have it by the cheeses and the salami and hummus and things like that, kind of as you're leaving the produce section right there in an end cap. So what I do is I make homemade sauce, really easy, an 8-ounce can of no added salt tomato sauce. So the no added salt is the key here. Again, it's just limiting how much added sodium you add just for overall heart health. And then I throw that sauce in the pan, a little bit of olive oil, some garlic powder, pepper, basil, parsley, you know, whatever seasonings you like in your tomato sauce. And then as I'm rolling out the dough, that's cooking on low for just a few minutes, top your dough with the sauce, top it with some cheese. And because we're having that rainbow pasta this week, I am making sure that I save some of those roasted vegetables to add on top of our pizza. And I'll serve it with a salad because the more veggies you have, the better. So quick recap, we are having a chicken dish with the balsamic glaze, asparagus and mashed potatoes, the stir fry with the rotisserie chicken, the frozen veggies, and brown rice, the rainbow pasta with turkey meatballs, pizza, and the last one, the chicken soup. So hopefully you find these dishes delicious and easy to make for you and your family. Thank you so much for watching. I encourage you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and tell all your friends. You can find me on Instagram, JennyPRD, Food is Fuel. I have a link below, and on that page I do a lot of just recipes and more food pictures, lunch, things like that, things that you wouldn't find me doing on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook, JennyPRD. And don't forget, your body is your temple, so treat it well. Thanks so much for watching and stay tuned for more videos.